Okay, we're holding in the Hakdama on page Ches, on the first column, about 10 lines from the bottom. And just after we have finished explaining why the Holocaust was a punishment for Zionism, and the state itself, with the Nisayan that it presented, was also a punishment, but now he's going to explain that the Zionim take the exact opposite lesson from things. Not only they don't learn the lesson from the Holocaust, but they learn the exact opposite of what they're supposed to learn. They say that the Holocaust happened because we weren't Zionists enough.
Yeah.
So take a look. Well, he's gonna say that Zionim say it. I'll show you who says it in a minute. They turn upside down the words of the living God. They say that the Holocaust happened because people listened to the Torah. Like the Apikorsim always did in the past. Now take a look who says this. I have it here, Rav Kook and the Ema Bon Tzmecha. Third page.
Yeah, that's right. Tiechtal. I mean, you said Kook means Tzvi Yehuda, obviously, right?
No, Ram Yitzchak Kook. Even though he lived before the Holocaust.
Yeah, he died in.
But take a look what he said.
7 or 35.
Yeah, pages 3 and 4. I copied off this drasha that Rav Kook said in 1933 when Hitler came to power on Rosh Hashanah. He got up in shul and he said that there are 3 types of shofars. There's the shofar from an ayil, and then there's a shofar from any Behemah Torah, and then the third type is the shofar from Behemah Tmeah. That if you don't have a shofar from Behemah Torah, you use the shofar from Behemah Tmeah. So he said,
are there animals that are kosher for the shofar? I don't think there's such an animal.
They're not kosher to eat.
Right, but really, I think every horned animal that is kosher for.
Okay, anyway, so
I think he has a very bad analogy here.
Okay, anyway, just let him finish. So he says like this. The nimshal is like this, and when it comes to the time for the geula, there's tekab shofar gadol l'cheir seinu. Hashem is going to blow the shofar to call us back to Eretz Yisrael. So there are 3 types of shofars. There's the tzaddikim of the Doros, the Ramban who made Aliyah, and the Bartanura made Aliyah, and the Vilna Gaon wanted to make Aliyah, and the Baal Shem Tov. So if you listen to them, okay, that's l'chachila. We should have all listened. We should have all come and made Aliyah when they made Aliyah. Okay, but we didn't. Unfortunately, we weren't Zionist enough. So then the second shofar is, I guess, the secular Zionists. But if we didn't listen to them, then Hashem sends Hitler. That's the third shofar. He's the Behemah Tmeah, and when he gets up and he makes his gzeres, then he didn't go running. That's what he says basically. That it's happening because people weren't Zionist enough.
And Tiechtal said that the Bibles are responsible because they told Jews not to go to Israel.
Well, I don't know. I don't have that quote here, but take a look at this quote.
What does it say here?
Ema Bon Tzmecha, page 5. You can.
What does it say here? Yeah.
It says. The achazek is divrei Rabbeinu im divrei Hamedrash Tehillim dechol hakois habois al Yisrael. All the plagues that come upon the Jewish people, mishum she'ein mevakshim es Eretz Yisrael. It's because they're not looking to go to Eretz Yisrael.
Mevakshim means davening for. Actually, doesn't mean that.
We are davening for Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah.
That's not the taina. He means the taina that they didn't go to Eretz Yisrael. But after all the troubles come upon us, right after the Holocaust started and the Xeris started, and he's writing this in the middle of the Holocaust, by the way. So, then they already want to run to Eretz Yisrael. That's what happens in our times. Now all the Jews in Hungary and Poland and everybody, they would escape to Eretz Yisrael if they could. If they would let them go. But now it's too late. The British closed the doors, the white paper. Even those who were opposed to Zionism before the war, in the middle of the war, they said, okay, let's go. If we can get out, we don't care where we'll go, we'll just go. That's like in the Gemara when it says to make a kinyan, you can hit the animal and it runs. So that's what Hashem is doing to us. He's hitting us so that we should run. We should go there to Israel. That's what the Holocaust came for, to make us go there to Israel. If we would have been good, we would have listened to the tzaddikim before the Holocaust
what tzaddikim more that everybody should go to Eretz Yisrael?
Let's say Tzvi Hirsch Kalischer and people like that who said that the Choy Veitzion movement. If we would have listened to them, then then it would be like more peaceful. We wouldn't have needed all these tragedies that we suffered from in the recent times. Kitzer, this is exactly what the Rebbe means. People who are mahapchim divrei Elokim Chaim, they're saying the Holocaust happened because we weren't Zionist enough. All right, and recently there was a guy, John Hagee, a pastor, a famous evangelist. Hagee, that's how you pronounce it?
I think so.
So he said such a thing also. He said, the Holocaust happened because the Jews didn't go to Israel. So all the Zionists got angry at him. What do you mean? He's saying such a thing. But the Zionim themselves said it. That's the funny thing.
I thought he said he got into the Holocaust because he wanted the Jews to go to Israel.
All right, it's a similar idea.
Yeah.
Similar idea. Okay, back to Vayel Moshe. Okay? So, Umavur b'Yirmiyah Mem Dalet. So he's going to show you how in ancient history this has always been happening. Whenever a tragedy happens, the people who caused it with their Averis go and they turn it upside down. They say, oh no, we're the good ones, and the ones who didn't listen to us are...
This article on the Holocaust that even the Russians tried to make the dictators be the heroes and the rebels be the perpetrators. Like, Lenin, Stalin, Khrushchev were the good men, and those who opposed it were the evil ones.
Yeah, like, everybody does that. It's a historical revisionism.
Yeah, even the Nazis, Hitler is a good man, and those who opposed Hitler were wicked. Like, when Hitler was even rising to power, those Germans who opposed him, were imprisoned and tortured, and
Umavur b'Yirmiyah Mem Daled Yud Ches. Pasuk says in Yirmiyah she'amru anashim hu aruros, that those ladies who used to bring ketores to Avodah Zarah, after they got sent into Galus, they sent down to Mitzrayim after the Churban Bayis Rishon, they said, "Umin az chadalnu lekater l'malchus hashamayim." That from the time that we stopped bringing ketores to this Avodah Zarah called Malchus hashamayim, chasarnu kol, we have lost everything. Uvacherev uvurav tamnu, and we've suffered from the sword and from hunger. V'tolu kol atzaros b'nevi'ei Hashem, and they said the only reason we suffered all these churbanos is because we listened to the Nevi'im, Hamasirim shaloi la'avoid Avodah Zarah, who told us not to do Avodah Zarah. But if we would have done Avodah Zarah properly, then this wouldn't have happened. V'Yirmiyah tzavach, and Yirmiyah Navi answered back, no, ki ha'avoin goyrim kol atzaros, that the sins of the Avodah Zarah, that's what caused all the tragedies. That proves the Nevi'im correct, because the Nevi'im were warning them the whole time, don't do Avodah Zarah, and then they ended up going to Galus. And now it's back to our time. Anybody with a brain, he can see the truth that this is what was happening. It wasn't that people weren't Zionists enough, it was that the Zionist movement was spreading in Europe before the war. That only these people who spread the idea of Zionism in Europe, and all the actions that were taken to bring this about, they caused the tragedies to happen. And I'll write more about this at length in the body of the Sefer. In Simanim Kuf Yud and Kuf Yud Aleph is the main place where he speaks about the history there. Okay, now here's another example of people who turned upside down the lessons of history. Umuva b'noyam Elimelech b'igeres HaKodesh. The Noam Elimelech at the end of the Sefer, Noam Elimelech, the Sefer called Igeres HaKodesh, at the back, Shekshaba Avraham Avinu Alav Shalom Eretz Yisrael, that when I'm on the second column of page Ches, the top. So when Avraham Avinu came to Eretz Yisrael, and all of a sudden there was a hunger in the land. The Canaanim, the people living in the land, said, because this heretic came to us, who speaks about one God and he doesn't want to listen to Avodah Zarah, that's why that's why this happened.
Where is this medrash?
It's not a medrash. But the Noam Elimelech is medayik from the fact that Avraham Avinu went to Mitzrayim right after that. Now, why did he go to Mitzrayim? Hashem didn't tell him to go to Mitzrayim, but he says, "V'holach leMitzrayim kidei lahashki davar shelo yispashit b'neim." He wanted to quiet down this kind of stuff that they were saying. So he saw they're saying, "Look, the Rav came because he believes in Hashem, and they didn't want people to learn the wrong lesson." So Avraham said, "Let me just leave, so people should stop saying."
Well, really, vice versa, because of their sins that caused hunger in the land.
Exactly. Ubifrat al doreinu zeh, and especially in this generation, Amru Chazal, Yirei Chet Imasu. Those who fear sin are going to be disgusted. They're going to be held in disgust, contempt by everybody else. V'oid harbe ma'amorim she'evesi b'fnei. Many other statements Chazal say in Sanhedrin Saduk Ches about the door before Bias HaMashiach, Saduk Zion. Ve'ein laharich begoydel ha'sheker shelo azus v'achutzpah Rahman Litzlan. We can't go on here about the chutzpah that people have today. and say these kind of things. But rather someone who believes in Hashem, he knows the truth.